Hello and welcome back to Where Wendy Travels, Where Wendy Creates. Today I wanted to do some of my file folder junk journal covers with you, and I wanted to audition some of our fibers that we have picked up at great clearance prices at Hobby Lobby and see how these will go very nicely or not with our journal covers, and then of course cut them down to size, whether that's tearing, cutting, or however we do it. First thing I want to do is go ahead and take the file folder and bend it in all of the different crease sizes so that it is going to hug our journals very nicely. And as you know, I'm in the process of making several junk journals at the same time. So we have a lot of book pages that we have been working on. And I wanted to go ahead and get some of that done today. So we are just folding, bending, and bringing back the paper to where we have that size to fit our junk journal inside. And this is a little bit thin. We'll be adding a few more pages to it. But again, we want to nicely cover and then cut down the sizes of that file folder to match. And looks like we're going to be able to trim that down very well here. And we will get that going. Okay, welcome back. So we are going to go ahead and set our beautiful side pieces that's going to go wrapped around our junk journals to the side. And we're going to go ahead and trim these down. Remember, my junk journals that we're working with is approximately 8.5 by 11 size sheets of paper. And with a bunch of them put together, that 8.5 by 11, once you combine them, is closer to maybe 9 by 13 with all the frou-frou and frillies that I put in there. So we're going to cut down our pieces to something similar to, I believe, to approximately 10 inches by 16 inches, and then we're going to add the borders around them. So we don't need to be precise because, again, our junk journal, when we're putting that together, some of the book pages, instead of 8.5 by 11, it looks like they turned out to be about 9 inches in height now, normally in width. So we're going to go ahead and take all of our pieces. We're going to tear or trim them down to size. And then we will go ahead and begin our process. So let's go ahead and get going and get them all cut down for us. And again, oftentimes I will tear these, sometimes I cut them. What I want to do is use these leftover pages inside of the journal. I may be coffee dyeing or tea staining them as well, but I may be putting them as the notepads inside of the journals. So we're going to trim all of these down. I think I have, I don't know, 6 to 8 of them here that we're going to work with. And after this, we're going to add the sides. And I just want to make sure that I'm not screwing them up too much here. Lay them on, take advantage of the fabric that we have put there. And I think I'm going to go ahead and keep cutting these down. I can tear them as oft I'm apt to do, but since I've already put the fabric on, I think for the sake of time, we're just going to trim them real quick across. And as you can see, it does not have to be a perfect edge because we're going to be putting this around the edge, so that little 1/2 inch that it's off is not going to matter once we have that siding on. And again, y'all, this is paper. We can constantly go ahead and trim more, add to it, take off, whatever we want to do with this. All right. Oopsie. A little bit off there, more than that 1/2 inch that I wanted to. And what we're going to do with this excess paper, not to worry about that, because we will be having an upcoming tutorial where I'm actually making paper out of the leftover paper from all of my different projects. So again, nothing gets wasted unless we absolutely have to, which I love to recycle, upcycle, reuse. Some of this I'm going to dye, and we're going to tear and put as little pieces onto other pages as tabs and as decorative marks. And as you can see, all of the fabric doesn't have to be perfect. I will just probably put that on the inside, not on the outside of that cover to make that journal. And we haven't been folding all of these. So again, I'll be laying in the creases before we bind that as well. And the ones that have fabric on them, that's just all that more exciting about reusing these pieces in other ways inside of our junk journals. So that just adds more appeal to those other pieces. All right, looks like I've got 2 more to do, and then I've already torn down 2 to size. So let's go ahead and cut these last 2, and we'll get on to our next beautiful step. All right, let's lay that on this side. Looks like it's perfect both ways. Good. Okay, so again, we're just laying this on and trimming off the sides, because I said we do not have to be exact, and I don't want to dull my rotary cutter on this thicker file folder construction type paper. So I am using scissors instead of tearing it or taking it over to the rotary cutter. And I apologize if you can't see this very well, but I wanted to go ahead and take advantage of all of these, get them cut, so we can jump on to the next stage. We will clean up our mess and then move the sewing machine up to the table and continue to make these covers. And hopefully during the editing process, we will cut out some of the tedious. But grab your projects. Join me today on our journey. If you haven't started yet, grab a file folder. The file folders are the covers for our junk journals. So you don't have to always buy another cereal box to eat it, to use it. And we're also going to be binding the vanilla wafer box as well as the cereal boxes when we do these file folders, because I'm making about 20 journals, but again, probably half a dozen, well, as you see, nearly 10 of the file folder covers, as we've been making the pages for our junk journals almost daily. All right, and there we go. So let me go ahead and collect these, get these into my paper pile, and then we are going to come back and go ahead and grab the sewing machine, pop it up on the table, and get to our next step. And thank you again for joining me today. Please hit the like button. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love for you to be on my journey with me and see how I bind these notebooks and get on with step-by-step how I decorate each of the upcoming journals that we're working on right now. There we go. And again, this is one of them that shows you what it's going to be like. Very, very, very gorgeous. All right.